Evening, everybody. It's your man, the Cheltenham Bandit, booming as ever. Like many of you, probably getting a bit excited now. It's getting close to Cheltenham. There's a lot of banditing, betting going on. Like we always say, get on it. And like many of you who are listening, I'm probably always looking for the next YouTube episode to pick up one or two horses. And what I'd say at the minute, there's a lot of people who are scared to give horses out, scared to put bets on. You know, I think my point and my take on it is what you'll always get from me. It's spread betting. The way to do Cheltenham, what people are saying, anti-post, you can't get the value. You can if you're not using your own money. And that's the way we've got to adapt. And for me, get as many accounts as you can set up in close families' names and take advantage of it. That's what the Bandit's going to do. The Bandit's going to stay positive. He's going to give horses, not going to shy away from if an horse don't lose. If I give an horse tonight it don't win, I'll probably have the winner in another bet. That's my view on it anyway. So let's crack on, because I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give an horse for every race. How about that? But I'm going to focus first of all on two horses in particular. Now, I've been looking at horses with previous Cheltenham form that I've liked in the past, and a couple that I could hopefully tip up with some sort of meaning behind it. And I've got a bit of a connection to the connections on this horse as well. So what I can tell you about Love Envoi, connections believe the only horse that it needs to beat is Lossiemouth, which, fair enough, obviously Lossiemouth's the favourite. Love Envoi prefers the longer distance, right? It loves it. Lossiemouth is unproven over past 2 mile 1. This horse was only just beaten by, Honeysuckle, which obviously fantastic mare. So I'm going to go with my connections thoughts on this. He gives me a few. I'm not saying they all win. It's definitely a good each way bet. But I've got so much riding on Lossiemouth that I can see the value in this. Obviously 9 lengths behind Lossiemouth. An extra 3 furlongs up the hill at Cheltenham. Obviously we've got previous Cheltenham form in here as well at the same time of year in March. So yeah, and obviously that was good to soft as well, that 2 mile. So if you get soft over 2 mile 4, yeah, it's worth a punt. So the Cheltenham Bandit is giving a bit more detail on Love Envoi, but I have heard from connections that obviously they know it prefers a longer distance, and yeah, they're bullish enough, The second, on that point, if anyone's got a William Hill, they're doing this epic boost, double the odds any race. I've had a bet on it today at 28 to 1. This is a horse what's going to be, it's going to be under 10 to 1 on the day. Probably a bit 8. Might touch 6s. So, if you have got a William Hill, have as your epic bet for the week. I think you get one a week or something like that. So there you go, Love Envoi. The next horse I'm going to tip up is your man, Ahoy Senor. Obviously, it was a prep race at the weekend. Never going to have a chance of winning it with how they ran it. But, again, we're talking an horse here with Cheltenham form. And he's going to go for the Ryanair. I've spoke to a few people on this horse, and believe it or not, I've done the epic on. I've got a couple of William Hill accounts, and it's 25 to 1. You can get 33s on Bet365 and Betfair, I think. Definitely on Betfair, 33s. But I doubled the 25s on William Hill to 50s, so I've had a 5 on it at 50s. And then I've done a £2 double. Well, on Betfair, I've done a cheeky £2 Ahoy Senor Love Envoi double. Obviously, if they don't win the race, the Bandit will probably have the horse that does win the race. But what I'll always do, I do a lot of spread betting, and then I'll have when I hear something, that's why I'm always on YouTube listening, I'll have a spate of putting the next 10 £5 free bets on this horse with another horse. I might do a bet with it with galloping. I might do a bet with I don't know, Banbridge. That's how I do my anti-post betting, and sometimes you strike gold. You have a little spell where you start hitting something. So that's what I'm going to do over the next week or so, hitting these two. But yeah, I'll just, before I go over every single race, and this is when I have these spells. I've only found this one bet on my cash outs, but I've loads of bets. I had a spell of hammering Factor File for the Browns. As many of you know, it's probably going to win the Browns, and it's I think it's 9-4 now. I've 16-1 here. I mean, it's a decent little... Bunting's going to let me down here. If you look at this bet, I've Factor File, cracking value if it goes in the Browns, which it probably is. Can't see it turn up in the Turners. You've then got Lossiemouth, obviously compared to what odds it is now, 11-4. Manello Indoor, those two, if they're in good shapes, then those two go in. The chance there, but Bunting's probably going to let me down. It's drifted out to about 18-1 now. But there'll be a sweat on it, obviously, if those three go in. So that's what I'll tend to do with my betting. But for me, anyone that wants advice, that's why I give a lot of horses out. I'm not scared of giving horses and putting bets on, especially when it's not my money. Spread betting, I'm looking at people's accounts who I respect and I like listening to them, but I'm listening to their tips, and I know they do other bets aside. You look at people who's coming on, security giving horses who made like £8 profit last Cheltenham from a pound stake. I don't want to be making £8 profit. I want to get loads of bets on the bookies' money. So that's how the Bandit plays it. And I'll tell you what. I know who's wanting a horse. I'll tell you what I'm going to back in each race at this point in time. I think I'll tell you the best value that I've got at this time. I think Firefox. I have got this vision of Elliot running up the hill with money in his hand for the Arkle winner in the next race, but I've also got a little feeling on Firefox as well. So I'm going to be going for a Firefox Founder 50 double. I think I'm going to start hammering those two, Founder 50 and Firefox. What a start that'd be for Gordon Elliott. So in the Arkle, I think Founder 50 is currently the one with a bit of value for me. So that's what I'm on there. Ultima, I'm going to give you Stumptown. That's going to be the selection at this moment in time. We'll skip the Champion Hurdle. Mears Hurdle as a value bet. Love Envoi, like I've talked about. The Boodles, I'm actually going to leave it. I think I can't. Although I do like it, I like it a bit spread bet. I like having a rough idea. I'm just going to leave the Boodles for now. So I will backtrack on me giving you one for every race, but it's got to be Embassy Gardens. I mean, I've got quite a bit on Knit Rocket, but it's got to be Embassy Gardens being the selection. The Ballymore, Birmingham, whatever you want to call it. Il Atlantique. I've got a load of bets on this. I need to find them. I probably got 20-1 early in the season. I'm going to go with Atlantique here. Is the value bet. Obviously, Ballyburn decides what is and what isn't valued depending on where it goes, doesn't it? But Atlantique in the Ballymore. It's just going to be Factor File now for the Browns for me. It's the only thing I can start getting in all my hackers and multis now for the Browns. I have a load of money on Stay Away Fair. So I do hope Stay Away Fair wins, but Factor File's going to be selection at this moment in time. Cole Cup. Samagist, if I want to pronounce it, that's the selection. Champion Chase has got to be Elfab. Interesting though with Edwardstone how they ran it from the front, isn't it? So again, Edwardstone could be the betting without El Fabiolo. Could do a fan of the market for that actually. Cross country. I've heard I think Willie Miller pushed it out to 5-1 recently, Delta Work. So yeah, I was going to stick with Delta Work for the cross country. Grand Annual, My mate Mozzie. I've backed this horse before. I backed it last year. I've got to stick with it. My mate Mozzie's selection at the minute. Now then, champion bumper. I'm going to give you Maureen as the selection at the minute. Getting a few accumulators. Although this T-Shan did run well recently. Turners. I hope to God Facile Vega runs in the Turners, because there was a spell where we didn't think it was going to run in the Turners. Now it looks like it is. And I know I've got to shed loads of bets on him, talking back as far as April. So I'm going to go on that basis. The Potemps. I'm going to go with Cletus Poulaw. I heard it a few months ago. I think it was the guys at Let's Talk Racing were talking about it. I've got a few on it, so I'm gonna go with that as my selection. There are, obviously it's weather dependent this, but it's going to be Bambridge. I have a load of bets at 10, 12 to 1. Good to soft Bambridge, soft going Stage Star. We'll give you 2 if you're betting on the day. But yeah, do that Bambridge for this race. You're talking of a horse what beat. So I kept saying it beat Stage Star by 10 lengths. Obviously ground dependent. So yeah, stick with Bambridge as long as you got good to soft. The Stayers. Oh, if only Marie's Rock was still running in this. I mean, I've got so much money on Tehupu, Crambo. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one. And you still look at Side of Burley and think it's staring us all in the face, isn't it? I'm gonna go with Teapot. I've got a feeling I was so away from it. You remember early episodes where I was saying I can't see it, and yeah, having watched the race back from last year again and again, I think because I backed it last year, I was so disappointed. I'm gonna go with Teapot. Yeah. Again, you depending on what runs, but obviously it's no more no better at the minute. I'll give you St. Felician. Now the Meuse Novice Hurdle. If only Brighter Days Ahead can win this race, because I've got so much, and that is thanks to Steve at Smoke and Cheltenham. I've got so much on this mare. I think I've got 8 to 1, 10 to 1 at some point on it. But I've got a load at 6 to 1, so. But at this moment in time, I'm going to give you Jade de Grugier. So I'm going to start putting Jade de Grugier in quite a lot of bets from now on. Kim Muir, it's got to be Good Time Johnny for me. Obviously, you depending on if it runs here, but it's normally no bet, so I'm going to stick with Good Time Johnny. The Triumph, I'm going to give up Kagis. I mean, I have a load on it at like 12 to 1. I hammered it again at 8 to 1. But as the value at the minute, I'm going to go Kagis for the value, but obviously in my main bets on the day, I do think Sagino's a good thing, but yeah, you're looking at value. It's got to be Kagis for me. County Hurdle. Now the Big Bandit's keen on this, King of Kingsfield, so I'm going to give it. I'm going to get some bets going on King of Kingsfield. Oh, click the wrong ones, right. Albert Bartlett. Albert Bartlett. they've had a lot of bets on this race, and I don't think I've got. I was looking. I don't think I've got a horse what's in the first 6 here. Although I've had the first 6 at some point, they've all gone. I'm going to go Jinko Blue as an each way shout. Obviously, we don't know where Reading Tommy Wrong is going to pop up. I just don't think that horse will be 16-1 if it's in this race on the day. So, for that reason, Jinko Blue. Gold Cup, I'm going to give Shishkin. Although there's a heck of a lot going on galloping. Watching back last year's Ryanair and obviously knowing what's happened to Shishkin since, I just think at 8-1. You know, if Lompes is 10-1 and Shishkin's 8-1, I know where the value is from that point of view. There's no way I can be on Lompes at 10-1. So yeah, it's got to be Shishkin. I mean, Huick, 14-1. Shishkin's a cracking price at 8-1, so it's got to be Shishkin. Hunter's Chase. I mean, I give you the Magic Hat, didn't I? The Bandit were in the Magic Hat. I gave it a good few months ago. It might have been about 16-1 then, Premier Magic. I've got to stick with it, you know. I've got to stick with the Magic Man. I know it's not ran yet this year, but it's gone well fresh in the past as well. So the fact that it's beat Bill away a couple of times, yeah, I've got to be on Premier Magic. Although it's on the line, it's probably the second selection in that race on recent performance. Mer's Chase. If only Halka de Tabber were running in this race. I just can't see past Dino Blue now. I know it's straight in the face, but sometimes, you know, I hear people, you've got to look for value, but it's better having, you know, you're putting £100 on, it's better getting £200 back than putting £100 on something else and losing. I just don't think this race has fallen apart a bit. Yeah, it's got to be Dino Blue. Martin Pipe. I don't think Simmers Yes is going to run in it. So on that basis, I'm going to give you Kiddy Bobo. I've had a couple of little bets on recently. Don't think Langadan's going to go here. Yeah, I think you're getting value at 9-1. So I'm going to start adding that in a few bets myself. So there you have it. I've given you an horse in every race. None of this messing about. The key to Cheltenham, in my view, especially when you're not using your own money, is spread betting. There is still value in the anti-post markets when you're doing it like that, creating a book. You're going in on the day, you know, you can get to Thursday, Friday, and you're looking at your books accumulating, and you're the first 3 in the betting, and you're saying to yourself, well, I'll have a tenner on the 4th in the betting to edge your bets. So, yeah. Bandit's excited, booming. There'll be a few episodes coming out, but there you go. Not just going to give any horses. And there's a lot of punters out there that's like hearing something. If you like me, I listen to everyone's views on stuff, and yeah, I like having a few horses I've not backed yet. So lots of, you know, horses for the Bandits. As always, get on it with the bookies money, spread bet responsibly. Remember to get on it with Cheltenham Bandit.